Hey, what's going on, everybody? I am Adam, and this is Open Late. It's been a while, but I thought, I needed a little break. I needed to kind of switch my mind off of like the chaos of getting ready for Legion's Con. And so I thought, what better way to kind of get my mind off Legion's Con than to open a Mythic Legions figure. This, of course, is Lijae. This is a retailer exclusive wave. I can't even remember when this figure came out. I kind of forgot that I had this figure. I was organizing my my office and kind of going through some stuff, and sort of came across a few Mythic Legions figures that I haven't opened, and I decided that with Legions Con a couple days away, it made perfect sense to open this figure. This is a very, very cool figure. It's not so much a tribute figure, but it is kind of a funny one. Apparently, as the story goes, there is a Mythic Legions collector who basically said, how much would it cost, for me to become a Mythic Legions figure? The Mythic Legions, the Four Horsemen, sort of threw a price out there, and he said, okay, great, let's do it. And so here we have Lijae. And that's one of the crazier stories that I think I've ever heard. But hey, whoever says money can't buy you happiness, talk to this guy, because I think he might disagree. Maybe not. He might be very depressed despite having an action figure of his likeness, but maybe not. I don't know. This figure is kind of interesting because it is technically a Xylona's Flock character, which is why I needed to have it. But he's got very much a Leodicius color palette that he's working with, and I'll be honest, this figure wasn't incredibly overwhelming to me in terms of the deco. Black and red, I've said it before and I'll say it again, not my favorite color palette, but the gold is nice. The fact that it's Xylona's Flock, I like. And the fact that it has the half orc head in there as well. This, for me, is definitely going to be a figure that is going to be taken apart. I'm going to use this for pop and swap. This is going to be a bunch of parts in other figures. And I will get to that, once I get him open and out of the box. But before I do, I just wanted to say hello to Alice and Troy and Jeff Morris, who are in the chat. Good to have you guys. It's always, I'll say this again at the end of the video. It's always more fun to open toys with friends. So I'm glad to have you here. Allison, I hope the move has gone well, and that you're hopefully kind of settling in at this point. Yeah, I know you probably have, unpacked boxes 2 years from now, but still, I'm sure it's nice to be sort of in your space and hopefully settling in. So, all right. So Lijae is in, the collector-friendly packaging that the Four Horsemen are very well known for. So it's a nice sort of plastic with a cardboard back. I apologize for going late, but my camera, my iPhone, which is my camera, was being a little fussy, which is why the angle on this, the framing, is terrible. Because I absolutely could not get the iPhone to do what it's done every single time I've done these videos before. It decided to do its own thing, and I couldn't figure out how to change it. So this is cropped tighter than I would normally like, but we're gonna work with it, and I'm not gonna worry about it too much, because I got way more important stuff to worry about than the cropping of the shot. On the back, though, we get the tower. Now this tower, I think we're going to learn more about, and I think we're going to sort of see more about at Legions Con this year. G-Con, which goes on Friday, is going to reveal the next wave of Mythic Legions figures, which I'm very, very excited about. I hope that, I think it's called like Reign of the Beast or Rise of the Beast or something like that. I hope we get the beasts. I hope we get the Odysseus. I hope we get Erethyr. I hope we get Basilia. I hope we get them all. But Xylona would be a version 2, and I would love to get version 1. But if they're going to do version 2, I'm happy to wait. But you get a nice gold foil stamped Xylona on the back there. Pretty minimal on this card because this is the retailer's wave, so we just have blue Hagnon and Lijae on the back. But anyway, let's get this guy out of the box because this is going to be a short video followed by me going to pack my suitcase. As usual, we get all the accessories and bags, and there's actually 3 bags of accessories coming out of this because there's a lot going on with this figure. Twist ties keeping the figure in as usual. As I said, this figure came out 6 months ago. Probably longer. I probably just can't remember. I feel like I've had this for quite some time. So, and as I said, I just kind of forgot that I had it. And truth be told, I am, as soon as I'm actually done this, I said I was going to go pack. I'm not. As soon as I'm done this, I'm actually going to unbox Tharnog. I've still not unboxed my Tharnog, and I'm very, very excited to do that. And just, what is going on with this guy's neck? There, that's better. So I'm going to unbox my Tharnog so that I can edit that video and post it. Apologize for the. Let me just get, like I said, the camera. Not really my friend tonight, but that's okay. I'll live with it. All right, so there's Lijae. He is, of course, I think he's an elf or a half elf. I can't remember. These arms, these legs, to me, they're like black flesh arms and legs. I don't think they had under armor in Mythos. Maybe they do, but I mean, that's what it kind of makes me think of, is that it's not armored, not fabric. It does always feel to me like that is a flesh arm, and the leg, because of the musculature and stuff like that. But that sort of notwithstanding, it is a good looking figure. I mean, the paint that Mythic Legions are known for is all there. It's very, very good. Hold on a second. The lighting on this is brutal. That's better. That's the lighting I want. Is that different? I don't think it's different. Anyways, but yeah, some of the newer parts that we get here, we get the bigger torso, the thicker torso. We get the chainmail for the sort of loin piece. These, I don't really know how to describe this piece to the sort of skirting, but that's probably my favorite of those pieces that Mythic Legions does. Boot wise, again, like if I was paying them to make a figure, it wouldn't look anything like this. He's got sort of like the villain wrist cuff, the villain boot, but the hero foot, and it feels like a really odd mashup of different parts, which is fine because, as I said, I really bought this for parts, and I'll sort of get to that in a moment. He comes with the short elven sword, painted to match the figure. He comes with a helmet. This one is pretty squished, but I will just slide it on there. The helmet looks really, really good. Like the helmet is sculpted beautifully. The angle that I've got here is brutal, but it's all open at the back, which is kind of odd to me. It slips on and off really easy. It looks really good from the front, but from the back, it's just odd. It's just an odd design. And again, that's okay. We get the half orc head, which looks phenomenal. The paint on this is great. You get that sort of brown on the top and a little sort of more of a beige on the bottom and around the back. He's got these beautiful red eyes with sort of a steely blue, steely gray around the eye, which looks fantastic. This is probably one of the best paint apps on a head sculpt that I've seen in the Mythic line. And the helmet fits on him perfectly as well. But again, just odd that it's open at the back. I don't know if that was because they needed it to fit on the orc as well, and they couldn't sort of figure out how to get it to fit on both without being open at the back. But I don't know. It just seems odd that it's open at the back. You know, I will say this. It wraps around these orc ears perfectly. Now, I guess they're probably pretty similar to like the elf ears. So, but yeah, I wanted this head sculpt. I wanted these body part, the black sort of flesh body parts. The gold armor, you know, I can use for other stuff. More accessories. We get alternate hands to match the flesh tone on the figure, as well as a couple of red belts. The belts are awesome. I love these belts. I have tons of them, and I never complain when I get more. We get another bag of accessories that includes... Well, that's interesting, and maybe I just haven't found it yet. Huh. So I get a bow, I get a quiver, no arrow. Usually there's an arrow in there as well that usually matches, but I've got plenty of arrows, so I'm not really that worried. We get a shield that matches with the little sort of stump that plugs on the back. If you've never had a Mythic Legions figure, you are missing out. The detail, the accessories, like all of it is phenomenal. These things are absolutely beautiful. And the paint apps are really second to none. So, we get pauldrons, and again, as I said, you know, just a funny mix up of sort of different things. These are typically more like a villain pauldron than they are a hero pauldron, despite the fact that he is in Xylona's flock and an elf. We get alternate arms, and these are painted to match. You know, you get the gold and the red. You got some silver chainmail in there, and they're painted. You know, the whole thing is painted. There's nothing on these Mythic Legions figures that's not painted. These are going to go on the figure. The black arms are going to come off 100%. I'm not going to do it on the video tonight, but this is sort of, like I said, why I bought this figure. We also get legs to match, so we get the gold legs with the red. Those are going to go on the figure as well, so that I can take the black parts off. You get all that in the package. Like you get sort of 1.5 figures, including, you know, an extra head sculpt, extra body parts, extra hands. My only complaint really is that we didn't get hands, any sets of hands to match the orc head. That being said, Mythic Legions has sold multiple hand sets, hand packs. So I have, you know, armored hands and gloved hands and other hands that will work. And so I'll just sort of use those. So between this and what I've already got, I am going to be sort of kit bashing, or as they say in Mythic Legions, hopping and swapping to make a couple cool figures. Let me quickly just jump back into the chat, see what you guys are talking about, and then I will kind of take a look at a couple of figures that I'm going to be mixing with this guy to create a couple characters that I would like to make. Solo Thinner, I saw this. I saw this. It was just a split second too late for me to sort of pull it up right when I was saying it. But how much would it cost to design an AWOC figure? If you're interested, man, let me know. I mean, we can probably arrange it. We could probably come up with a price. It won't be cheap, but it is entirely possible. Solo Sinner says, I got this Lijae figure purely for the black arms and legs before I was aware of the swap event at Legion's Con. Yeah, the swap event at Legion's Con is pretty cool. What Solo Sinner is talking about, for anybody that doesn't know, is that you can basically take any extra parts that you have and just kind of hang out. Usually it's Saturday night, I think. I think it's Saturday night that people hang out and do a part swap, and people just bring like their tackle boxes and like hardware parts boxes just full of body parts. And it's just like, hey, I got this head, but I'm looking for this head. You know, I've got some armored arms, but I'm looking for some fabric arms, or you know, I got bare orc feet, but I want some armored feet or whatever. I'm not taking anything because I'll be perfectly honest. Between traveling, between working the show, and sort of the anxiety of that many people, I took stuff last year and it didn't even leave my room. I went down for the swap event and just kind of hung out, but I didn't have the kind of bandwidth. I didn't have the energy to kind of barter. So I just kind of hung out and like watched people swap and like had a couple beers, and it was super, super fun, super cool. The hangout at Legion's Con is like legendary. There's not another toy convention that I've been to so far that has the same vibe and just sort of the same social aspect that Legion's Con has. So I'm really, really excited about the weekend. Solo Center, if you are going to be there, I don't know what you look like, but you know what I look like. So say hello and let me know who you are, and I'll be happy to hang out and chat with you a little bit. We can talk about scathing. Jeff Moore says, I don't know how much it costs, but I know you can get your head scanned and 3D printed by Mark II Designs if he is at a con you go to, or at least he used to do that service. Hold on. I didn't even think of this. Where is it? I don't actually need to have my head scanned. Not only do I know several very, very talented sculptors, but I've actually had a custom head made because I am that vain. But anyway, and actually, I have actually, this guy and myself have something in common. We both wanted the head sculpt to be elven in nature. So there you go. That's me. That's me as a half elf as well. I don't know. It looks pretty good. I mean, this one's obviously better. It's Four Horsemen. But I got this one printed, and then David Williams actually painted it for me. So I love it. And I actually got one without elf ears that fits on classified, and I got a yelling one as well. Again, like I said, because of my vanity, because I am a narcissist. And Solo Center says, no desire for me as a figure. More like it'd be cool to design an AWOC figure using existing parts and sculpts, but have it a legit character in the world. Like I said, Solo, I mean, it is possible. It is possible. If you genuinely want to entertain that conversation, I'm sure we could have that conversation. And Solo says, I find the elf head sculpt to be meh. The orc head is thumbs up. I agree. I'm happy to have another head, an alternate elf head, but That's the head. That is the head that I wanted out of this figure. Without a doubt, that one for me is way more exciting. I love elves. I love I was gonna say I love elves, but I love the orcs, and I love different versions of the orcs. I'm debating whether I want to get the gray one. I had it and I got rid of it because I don't do the Motu stuff, but now I kind of want it just for the orc parts. But anyway, Okiedos, I think is his name. I can't remember. Anyway. Brian Brink says, looking forward to meeting you this weekend. I am excited and sort of what's the word? I'm honored that anybody wants to meet me. I'm flattered. Flattered is the word that I was looking for. I'm flattered that anybody wants to meet me. I say that to my wife all the time. I'm genuinely, and she doesn't believe me. She's like, well, why are you on YouTube then? I genuinely just enjoy talking about toys. I don't really like the attention, and it feels weird for me when people know who I am and I don't know them. So please introduce yourself, because then it makes it less awkward. Last year, a lot of people were like, I watch your show, and I was like, I have no idea who you are. And oftentimes they didn't say, so I still don't know. I might have met people that I just don't even know that I met because they didn't necessarily mention who they were. Jeff Moore says, I only have the gray horse, but have been tempted so many times to buy Mythic Legends figures. They are really good. However, once you go down the rabbit hole, oh man, it adds up quick. What's going on, Ken? Good to have you. Solo Center, it's more and more obvious this was made for the orc, and then they threw in the custom face for the money. I don't disagree at all. Solo says 100% will seek you guys out. Low-key, this was more of an AWOC show for me than Mythic Legions. We are going to have some really, really cool stuff at the table. I'm very, very excited about it. It's also part of the reason that I'm stressing out is because I have to bring the Space Zombies from Mars samples, and I'm like panicking that they're going to break. So I have so much anxiety, and I don't leave till tomorrow evening. I don't leave Western Canada until tomorrow evening. I take the red eye from Western Canada to Eastern Canada, and then first thing Friday morning, I take a flight from Toronto Pearson International Airport down to Newark, get the car rental, drive to the Hanover Marriott, the venue hotel for the convention, and then I should be there in time for the end of G-Con, and then we set up, we get settled in, and the party begins. So I'm very, very excited for all of that. Now, okay, back to this. As I said, I wanted this to be a pretty quick video. So this guy, as I said, is this is a Xylona's Flock figure, but Xylona's Flock is always like, green and brown and brass and silver. There's a little bit of gold in there, but like this is 100% a Leodicius figure. And if you don't know what that means, that's okay. I'm talking about the factions within the world of Mythos, within Mythic Legions. So Leodicius is one of the factions, and one of its knights right here is Magnus. Clearly this is very much a good match for Magnus. And then in Leodicius we also have this gold knight. So clearly Lijae is more of a Leodicius figure than it is a Xylona's Flock figure, which is fine because the gold knight, I'm going to move Magnus out of the way. He is one of my favorite figures, even though I don't like black and red. When a character looks this badass, I make an exception. But the gold knight here is just plain gold. There's a little bit of there's a little bit of weathering to the gold. There's like a wash, but it's just pretty plain gold. So what I'm going to do is take the gold knight, take all these red and gold parts and kind of mix them up. I'm going to just kind of throw them together and sort of jumble them up and sort of see what I get. And then Lijae is going to end up, probably with more of these gold parts, and then the gold knight is going to get some of the red parts to kind of mix. The black bits that are on here are going to get sort of set up with this Jagualian head that came in the head pack about a year ago. I don't have the tail on because this one doesn't have the hole, the boom boom hole. But yeah, these black arms, black legs are going to go with the Jagualian head. This is actually, this half orc head is actually going to go on to this Order of Aetheron. This is a Sir Owain. What's his name? Sir whatever. I don't know. I don't care about knights. So all my knights, with the exception of this guy, because I was waiting to get this guy, all my knights end up with unhelmeted heads. But this is gonna get on here. I think this black Jagualian head is gonna end up, in place of this head here. So that's kind of the fun of Mythic Legions. That's the fun of all these is the pop and swap. All these parts are interchangeable, so you can kind of come up with whatever version of a figure that you want. The possibilities are effectively endless. This shield is going to end up not within the Leodicius faction. This shield is going to end up in the Arethyr faction. Again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's fine. Just know that the lore is really, really great in Mythic Legions. Tons of room for headcanon. But anybody that tells you, there's like no lore with Mythic Legions, they're absolutely wrong. There's plenty of lore and plenty of great figures. And as I said, I'm very excited to get to Legions Con, talk about Mythic Legions with some people, pick up a couple new ones, and really, as I said, for me, it's about Animal Warriors of the Kingdom, the new Bushido line, Space Zombies from Mars. If you're not familiar with that, I've talked about it a couple times, but I will be talking about it, I think, a lot more this weekend. We have a lot of news to share. We have finally kind of set up some of the business end of stuff, so we are going to be sharing a lot more details very, very soon. So stay tuned for that. We are very, very excited that we finally get to share some of that information with everybody. I'm going to pop this guy in. For the record, this is what most Xylona's flock characters look like. Browns, as I said, browns and greens and silvers. So obviously I'm in Xylona's flock. It's canon. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat here. Solo Tinner, what time's your flight on Friday? I don't remember. I don't remember, but message me. Message me to remind me, and I'll let you know. I'll have to look it up. So it's in the morning. I want to say it's like it's 7 or 8 o'clock, something like that. It might be later. I don't know. I arrive in Newark at like 10 a.m. I think, something like that. But message me right now. And as soon as I'm done the video, I'll look it up. Magnus looks awesome. Magnus is awesome. Magnus is I mean, this is one of my favorite figures in Mythic Legions. He's dope. He's really, really dope. I don't love knights. I don't love black and red. But Magnus is dope. If you don't have a Magnus and you can snag one at Legions Con, definitely do it. It is an awesome figure. The head sculpt is, again, this Magnus head sculpt is like one of the best. But yeah. Jagualian is going to look wicked with the black parts. Yes, he is. Again, Mythic Legions is funny for me because now I've kind of gotten all of the all of the like character tropes that I need. I've got my elf ranger, I've got my knight, I've got my orc, I've got my goblin. I've got sort of all the basics checked off. Now it's sort of like, I see a figure and I'm like, okay, those parts would look good with these parts. So now it's kind of like, a new figure really just offers more Lego bits, and then you kind of like build up your figures, build up your characters. Um, and that's what's really, really fun about Mythic Legions. And that's what's great about the part swap at Legions Con is that, if you've got some parts that you haven't been able to track down, you can very often find them there. So yeah. All right. Anyway, that's pretty much all I got tonight. I just wanted to take a minute to take a break, take sort of a step back from emails and packing and organizing and stressing out about making sure that I have everything that I need to take and need to pack and all that kind of stuff. So it's been fun hanging out, but I gotta go. I got other stuff. I got other stuff that I need to get done tonight because, like I said, I'm flying out tomorrow, and my day tomorrow is I should have and could have I taken tomorrow off, but I gotta work and then do the kids stuff and do everything. I got a whole normal day tomorrow, followed by going to the airport and getting on a plane. So um Alice and Troy, always lovely to have you. I gotta get you on I gotta get you once you're settled in. No pressure, but once you get settled in, I want to do another video with you in the near future, very near future, if possible. Solo Sinner, we'll message you absolutely. Yeah, let me know when your flight is, and I'll sort of check it against my flight, and we'll see. Maybe we'll be on the same flight. Yeah, get there early. We can hang out in Toronto Airport. I don't know. We'll figure something out. Anyway, it's been a pleasure. Thank you guys all for joining me. As I always say, it is more fun to open toys with friends, and this has been fun. This has been a nice distraction from my anxiety tonight. So thank you very, very much for hanging out. I will not be doing a live video on Sunday, obviously, because I will be in New Jersey. But I'm gonna try to have a video, at least on in my normal time slot, or sort of premiere in my normal time slot. I will be working the convention floor, so I don't even know if I will be there. So I don't know. Maybe I won't even do a video. Maybe it's not even worth it. Maybe I'll do one live from the floor. You'll just have to stay tuned. Hit that notification if you want to know when I'm going live. I will. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. I don't know. I have no idea what's going on. It's chaos in my brain. The prep for Legion's gone. Yes, absolutely. Jeff Moore says later. Yeah, later. Good to have you guys. Till next time. Where's the button? There it is. Bye-bye.